Yow! What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another edition of eXtelevision. I'm your host, eXtine, and we are here going to watch some more Portland Burnsiders. And yeah, pretty stoked on that. UGC Steel. This is a gravel pit. We're going to have a minute until we get going here, so I'll just launch the game here. And, oops, excuse me. And then we'll get into the rosters here. This is UGC Steel, and the Burnsiders are up against 4L. Now, the Burnsiders are the Calm on Demo Man, Klondike on Spy, Suave Pebble on Sniper, Keeperton on Medic, True Monkey on Scout, Orcrist on Pyro, the Shocker on Engineer, Stag on Soldier, and Kamir on Heavy Weapons Guy. 4L is Jake Gill on Heavy, Jesse74 on Medic, the Pit Bully on Soldier, Agoholic on Spy, Ninja Steve on Pyro, Billy Saurus Rex on Scout, Double Helix on Demo Man, Rejob on Engineer, and BT on Sniper. Now, 4L is a gaming community. They have a couple servers, and looks like about 400 members in their Steam group. So that's pretty cool. Good to see them participating in UGC Highlander. Always nice to see another community out here. So we'll see how the Burnsiders do here. You know, we're still getting together as a team. Still kind of finding our spots and our scrim times and getting together. We'll see how this works out on A. Looks like True Monkey did go for an ambush. It's going to come back in and not get anything. And that's definitely one of the downsides to this. You know, they're probably going to protect their medic, and it's hard to really get in here and get a lot of work done. Now, we weren't seeing Klondike earlier because of the spy bug, but he was actually invisibility there. Or the invisibility bug, not the spy bug. Jeez. He does run in and gets the heavy weapons guy. So that's pretty decent, but I do believe that Shocker went down here. They have kept his gun up, his dispenser up, and his tele up. So it's really no big deal. Excuse my third-person camera here. Just skip over to the medic. And we're going to see the classic rotate here from the A capture site through C and towards B. Do see also that Blue has gotten pretty comfortable control of the point here. This is pretty important. I didn't see where Stag was beforehand. We also now see that Suave sniping from behind the rock gets down, I think, the Soldier from above. Demo also goes down. But they were just on top of that roof, creating a lot of havoc and able to really have a huge impact. Oh man, look at that. The Engineer was trying to get crazy up on C, but Klondike taking care of that. Saps everything down. We are going to have the push out here. Control of this balcony is important. True Monkey just coming up. Takes a lot of damage, runs away. Pit Bully jumping in, and you really got to be careful not letting players get too close in here. Burnsiders are fairly well set up. It's a pretty good sentry spot. We'll see how long they can keep this up. Obviously have to counter Uber here. Gun unfortunately goes down. Shocker's going to get another one up here shortly. Teleporter exit back at the base is gone down. Killing the heavy weapons guy here. So his defense is starting out, or sorry, it is still kind of holding. Shocker having a little bit issues, but he does have a level 1 up. He does get the kill there on Ninja Steve. And Blue's offensive push getting stuffed so far. Pit Bully goes down. Demo jumping around the rocks. The level 2 is going to hit him a good amount. It's actually, you know, was kind of a desperate spot from Shocker, but it's actually been working pretty well for him. I think it's actually got a pretty good sight line there, just the rock, and doesn't get the ramp. So that actually turned into pretty good placement. I'm not sure if he's running the Wrangler or what. Blue is getting ready to kind of run around, push in through some different angles. See Pit Bully taking the roof here once again, and really not being contested in that. I'm not sure where Stag is currently. He is extremely lit though. Looks like he's having a battle with the wow. With the Engineer back at C. And BT here has got a clean look, hits a shot. Suave Pebble is down right now. Oh man, and that's a big drop on Keeperton, and you can't blame that on him whatsoever. The sniper was up there for quite a while. Keeperton in the behind this house strat, it definitely, you know, is a really safe place to hold, but as the hold continues, as you get exposed and cut off from your reinforcements and have people coming through from C, it's really dangerous. So the Burnsiders trying to reestablish things. They don't have a tele exit over here, which would be helpful. Schachter's moved his gun around a little bit, which actually will help out here as the Uber doesn't find it right away. Unfortunately, he does get stabbed and sapped, and that's going to be it for the Burnsiders' defense of B pretty much. Switch over to Swab Pebbles POV, and he's going to have to back out here. Looks like Keeperton just barely surviving as well, having a bit of an issue. Picked up the bottle in there. They really need to get back towards C more. Stag's running forward, and well, you know, I'm much more of a pocket soldier. You got to keep your players in, and you got to keep your players tucked away on C, especially when you're just fresh into that that hole. And the Com's trying to come out here and trying to deathmatch, and again, this is kind of desperation, and that Demo Man is really much more needed on C. Look at that spawn timer, 20 seconds. It's just so long. You just can't really give that frag away. And now Keeperton's kind of stuck without somebody here on the bottom, which is kind of awkward. Should maybe climb the tower and get in with the heavy weapons guy. I'm not sure what Keeperton's trying to wait for, or if you know, this is where we're choosing to hold. Demo Man's gonna come down here. Just gonna be a little bit careful with getting players back up on the point. Swab Pebble gets stabbed down. There's also not much sniper coverage, so Keeperton's gonna stay tucked over here, and I think on the top of C, maybe more successful, but we'll see how this works out. Uber's gonna come in from blue with the pyro. This is a really good counter. Keeperton really stuffing things, getting body blocked out, and actually kind of unintentionally forced to heal the spy there. Oh, scouts on him as well, and looks like a lot of players, the Burnsiders, kind of just faded away. Not sure what happened to some of the other players. They're not around Keeperton, not around the medic. Right now, the Demo Man's, the Com has jumped up to the top. Cam has still been holding up there with 150 health, but Klondike, the spy now taken out. Blue spy running around. Things might stabilize a little bit here, but it was kind of shaky for a second there. The Com, oh my god, almost just craters. Keeperton does get on him, starts getting those heals. He'll be alright. And Stag now on that black box, trying to be a little bit more self-sufficient. Blue is pushed up pretty well here on the Uber charge. This isn't the quickest of times from him, and I feel like they could have pressured on C here a little bit more, but that's alright. Gravel Pit, such a very different map, and you know, watch the Platinum game on this, which was over kind of quick. Sometimes though, games take kind of a slower pace. It's difficult to get the capture in. Burnsiders right now having some issues. A lot of players going down. Blue just pushing in pretty quickly here. Burnsiders are kind of spread out once again, kind of oddly positioned on the hold. Just kind of trying to see who got the kills. I think BT got 2 kills. And it was kind of spread around, but BT did end up getting 3 kills. Double Helix getting a couple kills in there as well. And just good snipes, good tear up, and I think the Burnsiders didn't really have a whole lot of forward presence on the door, as well as a lack of good heals on the tower, and so Cam wasn't, you know, super healthy. Did get sniped down, and you know, had his source of issues. Just took too much damage, too many frags, and gave him too much of an opportunity. So is what it is. 7:37 though is a doable time if you can get a good, clean offensive push. Although that's part of the problem with Gravel Pit, and why it's such a different map and very difficult for teams to play. There was some backlash on it a little bit recently. I think it is out, has been out of the sixes map pools. But this map works fantastic for both sixes and for Highlander here. But it plays so differently from 5CP. It's more similar to a payload map, but also the way that you attack and stuff, and what you actually have to capture and accomplish is a lot different. So the Burnsiders have given up on A, are pushing A, and the other team, 4L, have given up on A. So just switch throwing me up for a little bit. Keeperton's still tucked away, just keeping things on the perspective of the sniper for a little bit. See what he might see. The gun has gone down, which is definitely a nice pick. This is unfortunate that Uber coming out here way early, and Stag's over at A. It's just really Cam here with some gloves. Throws the sandwich out, but he can't get to the sandwich. And unlucky engagement there for Cam, and not very productive as well. This is where the momentum of Gravel Pit comes into factor quite a bit, and plays a very important role. Because the sentry was down, and the Burnsiders had a new recharge ready to go, but now the engineer has had time to repair using that rescue ranger, being aggressive with his level 3 sentry, or level 2 right now, but getting it to a level 3, and he should be ready to go very shortly here, and that strengthens your defense quite a bit. Also, red team now has the Uber charge as well, so we're in this really strong attacking position, but if you don't take advantage of that right away, all of a sudden red team 4L that you're pushing into has a very clean defensive posture. Suave Pebble goes down. We see Klondike in here lurking around. You can see where everything's positioned, and now it'll come down to how the Burnsiders move out, come out that door. But they're taking their time, and the only thing they really can wait here for is Suave Pebble. Looks like we also have a Cloak and Dagger spy on the other side, right in the midst of things. Here comes the Uber out. It's good. Cam's going to be in trouble here. Yeah. He gets stabbed. That turns into a double stab. Klondike comes in on the other side, though, at a pretty good time. Seems like part of the situation here came down to spy checking, and the Cloak and Dagger spy getting the upper hand there. Stag's going to come in definitely a little bit late, try to rain down some damage. It's a what? Oh my god. 3 melee swipes and kills double helix. Best play of the match so far for the Burnsiders. That was genius. Yeah, this is where, Gravel Pit, you really just gotta have a calm head. You gotta be clean and focused. And this is kind of a situation where, more inexperienced teams, newer teams that are still working on communications, kind of start to fall apart, and you start to kind of panic a little bit. Your resolve here and how you work as a team and how you have an impact is really important. And really, the way to do that is to just stay calm and keep playing your game, and try to make baby steps. So Pebble gets a snipe on the scout there, and then lands another small shot. See if you can get clear the roof here. That height advantage on the roof just so huge, so important. And Blue is being that is the Burnsiders being indecisive about jumping out here. And that's something I don't think you really can afford to do. You can't show, okay, we're on long, we're coming along, and then you get to the door long, and then you hesitate and you go really slow here. They've dropped players out, and if you're going to commit players, then you need to commit players. And the comm just got stabbed down. Didn't see exactly where, maybe on that left-hand side, but he dropped down way earlier, and you need to kind of move as a unit. It's fine to push in with 80% Uber, but you just kind of have to rotate around. And they just get cleared up and decimated there. So that's going to be a little frustrating for the Burnsiders, I'm sure. But definitely, if you're a team in this situation, you need to just keep calm and stay positive, and don't turn to like negativity or kind of like lashing out. You just kind of got to get a clean push together and stay up. That's the most important thing. That's really how staying calm kind of transfers into your gameplay. You don't make plays that are going to be risky. You're making plays that are safer, and you have more of an opportunity to get some success. comm able to dodge away from the spy. We'll see though if the spy comes back through here with the cloak. Yeah, just spots him out. Says there's nobody with him. And the comm goes down. That's not too big of a deal since Keeperton is building Uber right now. With True Monkey doing a good job using that Boston Basher. But at the same time, you know, the comm could have just bombed over the house and suicided that way. So they do have a Uber charge here. They got 2 minutes 13 seconds to capture. There's definitely a possibility, something that can be done. You need to make sure that Stag kind of gets in here in time to have an impact. He's maybe a little bit behind, but does just still can't get it involved in the play. Sharks are getting forward here as well. But True Monkey and Orcris going down. That's the Pyro and the Scout, which is a good amount of the flank. Klondike's coming in here now to get the sap, and Stag does end up coming out to attack at a good time. But post-Uber, seems like that must have been a problem. I'm not sure what happened with Cam or, Cam or some of the other players involved with that push. Gravel Pit's difficult in that sense that a lot of times the Uber is just the beginning of the push. In other maps or, you know, in payload, sometimes, sometimes you start with the Uber charge. Payload, stopwatch, pretty similar. But like Gravel Pit, it's like you Uber to get into B, and then you have to stay in B and fight and win. And it's the same thing with C. You have to Uber into C to get started, but it's such a long battle and it's such a long fight that you have to be able to survive after the Uber charge. And I'm not sure what happened to Keeperton immediately following, but that's obviously kind of what the frags and the results showed. So Orcus goes down, and there goes another big stab by a Agoholic. That Cloak and Dagger being very effective, and Gravel Pit, you know, a very big map, and definitely lots of opportunities to just kind of lurk around. A lot of spots too, you know, lurking C and waiting for, you know, B or blue to rotate through. And this again is just a little discombobulated from Burnsiders. And I think again, you know, even though it's good to have some pressure from the flank, and Stag had his moments, I think overall the Burnsiders could have played a tighter offense and been together a little bit more.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Definitely needed to be careful for Spy, Alcoholic, Reckon some fools. Some other issues. Looks like 4L going to take the first set, and we might have a little break here before the second. So yeah, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, we got some sort of obscenity going on here. Oh, it's over, but that's still a super cute little kitty cat. I didn't even know. Does that come with the last? No, he changed it. Oh, he changed it. I swear there was a kitty cat there. Anyways, we're getting ready to go here on the second set of Gravel Pit. So, you know, stopwatch format. Excuse me. We have, you know, stopwatch format. It's run in sets. You got to set a time, defend the time, and right now, well, Burnsiders are going to have to set the time. We shall see how they do here once again on offense. Need to bring the pressure, need to bring good, clean pushes. That's what it comes down to, Gravel Pit. And, well, you know, sometimes, unfortunately, your dream of success can die pretty quickly if things start to go haywire and you start hitting a bit of a wall. It can be pretty easy to just kind of get frustrated and slow down. So looks like, yeah, don't for the reference, don't jump and try to get in here. Don't try to do that. Don't try to do that. That's terrible. Evan can't get Evan. That's Keeperton can't get sniped from where he is. But if you're hanging out there and you're like, oh, it'd be really funny, or you just like jump and get in that pole, don't do that. It's not very funny. Yeah. Lose your Uber charge that way. So Burnsiders gonna stack A, get that taken care of pretty quickly. The full times 8, you know, kind of gives something away as well. It says, okay, well, everybody is over there. The spy is here as well. They're doing a little bit of spy check, but you know, with this cloak and dagger, you gotta hit this area. You gotta spy check over there. That's the secret. Is you gotta spy check where the spy check is. Oh god! Oh god! Oh no! I can't watch. Wow, jeez. Cam gets him at just the right time. Nobody's standing behind the medic. You know, that's another kind of little trick as well. you just place somebody behind the medic and, you know, spy, you have to bump into them or stab them first. Wow, this Uber did not push out right. The comm just walks right into it. Didn't have the heal beams on him. A bit of a misstep there for the Burnsiders, for sure. Klondike's out here. Doesn't get the gun sapped. Do see a couple other players around for blue team. So yes, oh no, Stag's out with the combo. Focus head out here. Sees where they're at. Burnsiders waiting for the comm to come back in. You know, one of the options here, though, they could have tried to do is just have the comm try to meet them through pushing the short side, just so they don't waste a whole lot of time here. They're going to come in with the Uber charge. Wow, good save by the red medic to get on the heavy weapons guy because he was pretty isolated and picked out. Didn't seem like that was going to be a problem. And this could be an issue. Burnsiders do have 8 on the point right, or sorry, several on the point right now, but they don't really have any heals in combat. Keeperton is back here, like with the pyro and the spy, the sniper, definitely the spy, but the red spy, and yeah, that was just trouble. Stag kind of got isolated. I think he's just now coming back through that area. Schachter's around and suspicious. Which is good now, but I mean, I think he had other priorities that he was dealing with. It's not necessarily that the spy was anybody's fault, but just that Keeperton should have been closer in with the comm. The comm actually kind of probably rushed the point a little too early. You know, you need to get the frags and establish control. Gravel Pit B is not really like a point that you can just bomb and just like throw 5 players on and just capture it real quick. Or 2 players on. You need to put a lot of time on it. You need to have control of like the entire house before you can really successfully capture it. You can put some pressure on it, that's for sure. And Schachter's going to try to do that, especially with a gunslinger up here. It's not a bad option because it's going to force red to respond, and that'll give the other players an opportunity to possibly play off of that. Of course, that has to be the combination. It has to be a playoff instead of you know, uncoordinated efforts here. And they're going to be having issues here. Yeah. Again, kind of lost too many people and weren't really focused together as a core unit. And that's what it takes in Highlander, so that you can spread the heals around so that you can protect each other. In that situation, you know, they chose to jump down, but the comm, as you can see, we were floating on his corpses all the way over here. The rest of the Burnsiders were going out long tunnel. And they also, you know, we're 80% against an Uber charge, which, you know, obviously isn't a beneficial fight, but, you know, as I said before too, you know, you do have to jump down sometimes and start moving forward when you do have 80%. You just have to make sure that you can get away. And I think if the Demo Man was a little bit closer to the combo, that would be a little bit easier to accomplish and wouldn't be really, you know, quite as much of an issue. So it looks like Burnsiders are going to try the C push, try to rotate through this way, which is not a bad option. But again, it's sorry, getting a little distracted. The C push is good, but you need to do it cleanly. That's what it comes down to. You need to get results, and we'll see. Tom does get a better Uber as he walks out here. Good and crisp. He doesn't get dropped. They go after the sentry gun, and now, you know, trying to get the sniper as well. Which is a good decision to really make sure to get the sniper. But this is the situation where the comm needs to stay in the fight. Right now, yeah, he's just going to get isolated down by that scout. He's on the point alone, and Keeperton's back here now just with the scout, True Monkey. And when you're in a situation like that, and you're just kind of isolated away, it's not going to work out. You have your back to their spawn, and you know, a lot of times if you're pushing through C, and you know, it's like the medic and the whole unit have to move through C, and then you can rotate back through A in that lower connector if the push doesn't work. But if your medic is just standing at C with just a few players, it's very difficult to protect him, you know, if you're not making a presence on B and if you don't rotate into B. especially since the whole, I mean, aspect is you're getting the kills on B and then pushing in so that then you can later attack C. If you're getting kills on B but you're not actually pushing in and taking B, then those people that you kill are going to respawn on C and they're going to be closer to you. They're going to be as close as possible. So it doesn't really pay to linger. It doesn't really pay to stay after you kind of fail push or like halfway push. If it's like a small failure or you don't really commit to the push, then you can definitely stay because you haven't killed anybody, so nobody's going to respawn. But if you push in and you kill 4 people and you lose 4 people and then you hang out, you're probably going to die.
Do you guys hear me?
And there goes Suave Pebble, there goes Shockter. That's not too big of a loss. Actually, one of those I think was a dead ringer. Seems like one of those was not a legit death. And right now, again, it's just a little bit of, well, they're waiting for Uber charge here, so I guess that's why we're getting the pussyfooting. But again, you got to come out here cleanly and together. And that's maybe almost even, it was protective. It was, you know, they wanted to make sure that they didn't drop. Good coordination with Klondike. Now a lot of frags coming out, and J. Kyle just tearing stuff up right there. Cam's got to get back out here, but now it's just it's too late. And they're kind of trapped in here again. Yeah, now they're just going to get kind of caught up, and this is not going to be good. My early prediction right now for this round is they're not going to be able to capture B. Keeperton is surviving here, and they are kind of holding out here, so it's working for the moment. Might even pick off the black box soldier, which is good. And they're starting to get some frags. You know, or at least a frag is a way to start it off. That, unfortunately, though, I thought Cam would have had that one, but Jet Kyle coming through again as he gets Stag and True Monkey. I'm not sure if he's getting arrow healed. Doesn't look like we have any arrows in here. That is a pretty badass outfit, though. I will give you that, though. With the I don't know what you call that jacket. Let's see. We'll look it up real quick here. Bolshe vest. I don't know. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Looks like 30 seconds on the clock. Burnsiders do have an Uber charge, and gonna push in here with Cam a little bit, waiting for some other players. But you know, again, you just can't be indecisive about this. And I think too, this is another situation where we should have just had this Uber pushing in, you know, 5 seconds ago at least, and the calm was coming around by rotating through A into C, and that's just too long of a respawn for some of the classes. The Demo Man can just come through the short side of B and then just jump across to the C balcony. So Burnsiders, at least on the bright side of life, they put a very, very fast capture time on A. Because this is one of those scenarios where actually you can have teams forced to defend A and to defend A fiercely in order to not give the game up. Because, yeah, if Blue captures A faster than 34 seconds, then it doesn't matter whether they don't capture B. You know, because that's what happened with the Burnsiders. You didn't capture B. And if you kind of like try to push B first, and then that doesn't work, and then you go capture A, and then you go back to B, and you can't get a capture, and your A time is like 1:30, then if you're in a situation like this, you have to defend A. And it's always pretty entertaining for us, the fans, when that happens, because A is an interesting point. I wonder if somebody could make gravel pit with gates. Maybe that would be interesting. Force teams to defend A. But right now, it's not really happening. A scout is out here. True Monkey does get Billy Saurus Rex and Alcoholic. So it's a good 2K to start things off. Especially with Billy Saurus Rex being the scout, they would have had the ×2 on the point. And Stag's over here as well, actually getting some nice picks as well. So Burnsiders throw 2 in and take out 4, including the Engineer and the Demo Man, which are nice picks. And they do hold on to at least defend B. So now at this point as well, if the Burnsiders can protect B for 5 minutes, and well, 8 minutes and 10 seconds, then they will win this set. But obviously it's a fairly difficult task to accomplish. the Burnsiders defense. Let's go take a look at that right now. Schachter's gun looks like they're having some issues. Maybe got taken down by Alcoholic previously. Could have also been a bomb or something. Is up to a level 2 gun. Not too big of a deal. Let's see how Blue pushes here. So already, you know, it looks like the Heavy's being maybe a little bit more aggressive than the Burnsiders are. They're trying to push in with coordination. They're kind of split 3 and 3. They are taking their time, so maybe they are waiting for a spawn. Suave Pebble got BT. They aren't pushing in as fiercely as maybe I was hoping they would in order to make apt comparisons. But it looks like their engineer is walking up with a gun. Looks like they're trying to get that out. That's kind of nasty. Walk that gun through A side. Makes sense. Now they have a level 3 chilling right there, and I'm not even sure if the Burnsiders necessarily realize it. Yeah, there we go. The Pyro was finally starting to shoot flares over there. But 4L in here pretty strong. Champion Pro going to take care of the roof once again. And 1 health is going to survive and can continue to throw some damage out here. Again, this is where the roof just comes into play. We'll see how long he can stay up here and you know, continue to have an impact with just 1 health. Really, it'll only take just, you know, a needle heal from distance, and he'll be right back into the fight as well, and it won't be a problem. Stacks around. They must know he's up here now. But he is going to get a kill on Klondike, and that was a real kill. Doesn't kill Stag. Stag pretty banged up by that, but he's doing all right. Get the roof heals as well, so that's good. Now, things developing here. Red's still just holding things pretty safely. Have plenty of players up. Pitbull was in a pretty good spot there, but kind of funnily slashed down by Klondike. So, good hold defensively by the Burnsiders again here so far. And I think that's, well, the comm's going down to Billy Source Rex. I'm not quite sure where that was happening. And Champy Pro actually now also clearing up things quite a bit from the roof. And looks like those are about the 2 themes. One, Burnsiders playing things defensively better than they play things offensively here today. And 2, Champion Pro on the roof, or anybody on the roof, has kind of been their downfall of the defensive hold here. That's a really pretty important aspect. And we'll see also, you know, if they do, or once they do lose B here, well, I guess we won't see a C hold. If they do lose B here. So Burnsiders fighting on tenaciously. Cam just barely staying alive here. Oh god, but the snipe over the head. That's kind of insult into injury. As Cam surviving. See if he can maybe get a sandwich out here or something. Soldier's out here, but Cam just needs to eat up. Must not have the sandwich on him ready to go. But get that ammo pack would give you a sandwich. So that might be a place to head for. And looks like Cam's kind of just going to get whittled away. Doesn't have the health to make a decision. Here's the sandwich finally. Going to nom that up. Engineer's going to come in here late. Also only has 1 shotgun shell loaded. Cam rotating away. And he's out of ammo. So that's it. Cam, good job staying alive. But needed to find that ammo. The pack to get the sandwich a little bit earlier. Also a lot of ammo on the ground. Quick fix coming out right at the end here. A little bit surprised by that. It's very effective, and if they had it in mind, maybe could have busted out a little bit earlier, but looks like they just needed to save it at the end. So 4 life, looks like that's what 4L stand for. Did not know that. Well played by them, good job. Pat on the back for the Burnsiders. A tough game for them. I know I talked to some of them a little bit afterwards, and they were a little unsatisfied. Gravel Pit does that to teams. Gravel Pit is difficult, and I think that's why, I mean, even though it's a generalization, that's one reason why it's not popular and why it's maybe not in some leagues anymore. I mean, it's very different in terms of 6s and stuff, but it's a frustrating map for teams to play. It's very tough. It takes a lot of teamwork. It's very old school, and it's very difficult for some teams to play. So Burnsiders having some offensive issues with it, but we'll see how they do next week. So thanks for watching, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you guys learned something. Hope you guys had fun. I'm eXtine, and I will see you next time. Peace out.